They got a bunch of duplicate addresses that are on their poll books. And what's so curious about this is they backtrace these addresses, and you can see the digging on this has been extensive. But a lot of these ghost addresses are going to Israel for some weird reason. And they sent somebody over there to take a look at all of this, and we'll go through it. So here's the background on this one. 320,000 ghost voters are identified in this country, reportedly used by a third world country to win in 2024. In this article, I think they just changed it a little bit because that was a different headline before. But let's see what the article says. While Democrats used every dirty trick in the book, we are now taking a look at independent challengers to the election system. Both of them were being processed by election workers were problematic, and poll challengers had no way of knowing if they were watching votes being cast by dead or voters.
Tired.
There were also unsolicited absentee.
Did a Lincoln Lawyer marathon last night.
And the question, of course, if you have all of these extra people on there, how come you only removed 177,000 of them?
This blinks out. I'll reconnect it. A lot of times it wants to up here.
To be honest with you, I think this article has changed, or it's the wrong article. The article that not the one that I wanted to share with you.
It's not
today, and I'm wondering into this. Will the FBI peer into this building and connect the dots on?
Hey, XZ.
Yes, because there's some strange stuff going on there with foreign overseas ballots, multiple people at the same address. We've seen this pattern before.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
Strip malls. We saw thousands of fake IDs coming in with the Chinese bringing them in at ports of entry. And so, very strange situation developing there. We'll keep our eye on that one. All right, my friends. What a beautiful. We all have our hands out. Except Bill Gates. You can't see his hands. So, that's not it. It's going to say widow's peak, but doesn't look like that. Obama doesn't have a widow's peak. It says here, rub some dirt on it. This is the Pleiades. Was pretty underwhelming by time. The clouds broke. I made a GIF with a few of the meteors. Man, that's awesome. Rub some dirt on it. Amazing. Look at that.
Born 357.
Rub some dirt on it. Bucky says, Rob, if this is true, then nothing is going to happen except Republicans on Fox News and podcasts saying Democrats broke the law. Yeah, Han says, I don't know if John Brennan is currently in Austria, but as of today, there is exactly 1 week left to charge him based on what he told John Durham in 2020. Deadline is critical because unlike his brief sound bites in Congress, he spent an entire day with Durham, meaning there is...
Look at that. You even got the accent on the...
I think he's in Austria, personally. He's on... I think he was on with Jen Psaki last night in her studio. So unless she flew to Austria, I think he was in her studio. Rub some dirt on it. Says the Watcher Trivia Quiz answer.
So we did hit our... the ad reads got approved. It just took forever for them to approve. So we actually ended up doing 6 ad reads for the month. So we're good to go on that. We just need to get the watch time by the end of the month, and we're pretty damn close on that as well. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. And I appreciate everyone's help with the Rumble channel this month with the added new requirements.
Well, thank you, Brock. This is what a nice thing to say. Bucky's is Rome. It says Rob's great.
Right. We're going to switch it over to versus.
I I've got a Stained record signed. I've got an Avenged Sevenfold record signed. I've got a Kiss record. Debbie Harry signed my original pressing of Parallel Lines. I can't put it up in my house. Parallel Lines.
Well, that's the compromise for being married. Marriage is far superior than music.
Yeah. I have all this cool stuff, and I can't put it up.
I'm the same way. I have a lot of Kiss stuff. I've collected Kiss stuff over the years. It's been my absolute best band ever.
So let me give you an update on according to the dashboard. We are required to stream at least 30 hours a month. And today being what, the 13th, not even halfway up, we've already streamed 41 hours.
It's all just sitting in the basement.
Required watch time is 200 hours per month, and we are at 167.6, so we're definitely on pace. We're supposed to have 20 unique chatters. We've got 24. And we were supposed to have 6 approved ad reads, which means I did them correctly, and I actually made them money. Supposed to have 5, we got 6. So we're on pace for a decent month this month. August is looking to be one of our best months. Hey, Kilted. Good to see you, brother.
Trump read the names of Kiss. He said Paul Stanley's name, and then he said Gene Simmons. So that, if anybody knows Gene's personality, that's going to really get on Gene Simmons' nerves. Well, it hit to his ego.
It also was probably written for him, you know?
Right, maybe. So this guy,
he was on The Apprentice.
Kilted is over on Rumble, and those of you that don't have an issue switching over, please go right ahead, because we still do need that watch time. And actually, that's where I prefer my free speech network. But you guys view me from where you want. I'm gonna stay on both for the rest of the month. I'm not gonna do any more premiums. I may upload a couple premium videos, but that's gonna be about it.
Gotta check it out.
Well, now that you've said it twice, I'm sure you're promoting yourself. We get that from time to time. Yeah, you want to find out if Florentine will jump on with us? If not, let's see. We don't have time for that.
That's what you were saying.
I'll give it real.
Congratulations. Hope that went well. You got your next day is what, tomorrow?
Long time listener, a great show, man. Just wanted to let you know, my first concert ever, 1977, Kiss in the Omni in Atlanta. My big sister took it. It was a life-changing event. It was the greatest show I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of rock shows since then. This was the greatest show I've ever seen, just for pure showmanship and the gyros and everything. It was just, anyway, it shaped my whole life as a musician. I've been in a lot of different cover bands since then, and every cover band we do, we cover Kiss, because Kiss, I don't care what nobody says. I went later to become like a little snobbish cordial when I thought that I knew something, but then I went back to them, and I was like, they're simple songs, but damn, that's rock and roll, man. It just grabbed me.
I got to leave it there. SiriusXM Patriot. Do you wake up every morning wondering how pain is going to affect your day? Sam used to, but not anymore. Let me tell you his Relief Factor story. At 73, Sam isn't slowing down. He's still long-distance trekking, snowshoeing, and hunting with heavy backpacks. The secret? Relief Factor. It helped him manage severe pain in his legs. And now, even with light pain behind him, he still takes Relief Factor as maintenance to keep inflammation at bay and keep him on the trails. If you're living with aches and pains, see how Relief Factor...
It's going to be a quick trip, hopefully. We'll see.
Feel better.
A couple things got to check on to get somebody having issues with a printer. And that's what it is with these printers, man. I'm not allowed to do too much with these leased printers. I mean, for some reason, they always want to print in landscape.
Living every day the way you want. Visit relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800.
Kelton, how was your trip with Duke? So you out there hanging out with him for a bit? I'd love to hang with him for a bit sometime. His travels don't bring him close to me very often, though.
You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you. For pennies a day, Home Title Lock
information around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring.
That's awesome.
Any tampering, you'll get an alert, and that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. I like Duke.
And sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
I'd like to sit down with him in his speakeasy and put back a couple bourbons with him someday. I know he's got a wide array of beverages there, but that's my preference is bourbon. Okay. Both good guys as well.
The 48 Kennedy Center honorees are outstanding people, standing group, incredible. We can't wait to celebrate the Kennedy Center honors.
This year's honorees: country music star George Strait, Rocky actor Sylvester Stallone, also singer Gloria Gaynor, the rock band Kiss, and actor-singer Michael Crawford. Speaking today after a virtual meeting between President Trump, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and other European leaders, French leader Emmanuel Macron said President Trump was prioritizing a ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia. The president meets Russia's Vladimir Putin Friday in Alaska. Mother, father, and child killed when a tree fell on their car as heavy rain and flooding hit Eastridge, Tennessee. The three were killed when saturated ground caused the large tree to fall. A former Israeli ambassador to the U.S. says it's nearly impossible for Israel to negotiate a peaceful settlement with Hamas.
Dr. Michael Oren says many favor a simple approach in which Israel will pull out of Gaza in exchange for the hostages.
But
They're never going to give us back all the hostages. That's because, in Oren's words, Hamas is evil but not stupid. They know that the minute they give us back the last hostage, that is when the IDF goes in and destroys
and this heat,
and all negotiations are taking place amid a
almost pointless to wash the car with all these bugs.
when it comes to the value of human life.
New paint, I don't want it to. Those bug guts can eat away paint in the high gloss.
Dr. Oren was interviewed by the Salem Radio Network. Bob Actor reported.
The Dow is up 299 points. The Nasdaq Composite losing 15. More on these stories.
Get you some AG1. It's good stuff, man.
It's Mike Gallagher. You work hard.
Yeah, it was. I marathon watched the third season of Lincoln Lawyer last night. Wife got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was just watching the last episode.
I trust to guide you through it. Look
at that, he's got pro wrestling sticker in the back of his Pontiac. Is that an Aztec? Man, it's been a while since I've seen an Aztec.
Or exploring a HELOC for some cash this summer for a second property, or maybe tackle those updates you've been putting off. Start with people you trust. People I trust. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. Or call 800-510-MIKE. 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans. Mortgage lending by the book. This is White Mortgage Maker, CBA Fellowship Home Loans. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 819382. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer of New York says his favorability rating dipped. The poll released on Tuesday.
Yeah, they are.
Call for generational changes. More from Bernie Bennett. According to a Siena College poll,
apparently
Schumer is at his lowest favorability rating, dated back to February of 2005, at 38% who approve.
They're not very durable, from what I hear too. That's why you don't see many of them on the road anymore.
Respectively, in June. Brooklyn native is also down with New York City voters, 39% to 46%. Following Democrats' major losses in 2024, many in the party have begun pushing for a generational shift, calling for younger voices in office, as many established members face primaries from the younger generation heading into the 2026 midterm elections. Bernie Bennett building activewear, buying Hanes brands for $2.2 billion, giving the basic apparel maker access to brands like Hanes and Makeform. The transaction is valued at about $4.4 billion. Breaking news at townhall.com.
Fusion of rational thought and political analysis.
Ooh, I kind of want to watch this one. the Anna Paulina Luna episode of on Joe Rogan. I can't play it on the background when I'm watching YouTube, but I will. I can with Rumble. As long as I'm not showing it directly. Yeah, Rumble won't even let you play that directly either, though. Especially if a new episode like that.
And that is rational thought. So welcome to the Locale Majority. I'm Andrew Walter. I want to bring on Representative Keith South, Texas, who is going to it's the FISNO Act. It's a piece of legislation to reform.
I mean, he shocked him. I watched his speech there.
The Democrats, when it comes to an issue of waste, fraud, and abuse,
or his news conference.
I want you to listen to this very carefully. Here's Representative Bill Champion in 2022 saying that inflation is pretty much just a made-up word.
It is ultimately going to lead to a reduction in overall inflation, but most importantly, to the budget that people have every single day. Inflation is like a theoretical word that economists use, but what families feel every day is the up or down of costs.
Okay, so it's this theoretical word, but now, and we saw what is inflation at 0.2%, which is basically flat. I want you to listen to her yesterday on MSNBC.
I think that he lied. He lied to people and said that he was going to bring down costs on day one, and the reality is that that is not at all what he's done. His tariffs, his unhinged tariff policy has raised prices for everyday Americans on everything that they need to survive.
Except it hasn't. Even CNN yesterday was saying energy, food, and housing prices are all down. But in 2022, when inflation was raging, after Janet Yellen, it's transitory. They said, be quiet, be patient. They held up charts. Look, our charts say the economy is doing good. Our studies say the economy is doing good. Just stop telling us how you feel about it. Now they want to get everybody's feelings, even though their narrative is the complete opposite of reality. Right, joining the program right now is Representative Keith South, Texas. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, Andrew. Great day to be with you. Thank you.
All right, so FISNO, what does that stand for?
Well, it stands for the try to get carbonated beverages, sugary carbonated beverages.
Oh, you mean fizz? That doesn't stand for anything. You literally mean fizz.
We need sugary carbonated beverages out of tap. Absolutely. There is no nutrition in a sugary carbonated beverage.
Now, what about there's got to be some lobbying group, right? Every one of these industries have trade lobbyists. Does the fizzy lifting drink from the Willy Wonka movie? You've got to be getting calls from lobbyists.
No, actually, not as much as expected, because the ultra-processed foods, the sugary drinks, the energy drinks, yes, that's a powerful industry, but not as much as you would think, because this is a common sense measure. The SNAP program is supplemental nutrition assistance program, and ultra-processed SNAP, snacks, and carbonated beverages do not add to the nutritional value of local food.
I saw what Brooke Rollins said. She emphasized the word nutrition, right? That's the most important supplemental nutrition program. No, you guys are right. Now, if somebody's going to come along, and I've actually said this before, I'm not asking you to endorse this. I've said I can be worse than some of the conservatives in Washington. I don't think if you're on these programs, you should be allowed to drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, do drugs, or eat foods known to drive obesity. Because you're probably also also on Medicaid. You're probably also on Section 8. In other words, you're on the dole, costing us money. You should at least return the favor by being as healthy as you can. But with that said, people say, well, if you're a conservative, you're using free choice and free markets. Yeah, I do. Get a job, spend your own money on whatever it is you want.
Well, even Andrew, we know that people that use that have basically normally three sorts of revenue sources that they spend at their home. They just don't spend the federal taxpayer dollars on carbonated beverages. It's as simple as that. And as you say,
Oh, no worries, brother. I was just sending her a message, actually.
hypertension, SNAP program, the sugary drinks, the ultra-processed snacks, and we pay for it on the other end.
We just drove by her workplace, actually. She works right off of the freeway at one of the recovery centers she works at is right there in Napoleon.
Look, the government is not here to make decisions for adults in their day-to-day lives. I know Democrats like to think that they're all about freedom. They're not. They would love to have an authoritarian system that quarters basically everything. But I can't stop you from eating food that makes you fat. And when I see Democrats attacking, let's say, the fast food industry, you can get just as fat in a food truck, right? It's not a question of the clown versus the food truck. If you eat too much of fattening foods, you're going to be fat. That's just the reality. But if you're not asking the taxpayer for a dime to subsidize your bad choices, then live and let live. We're talking about people who are asking the taxpayer to subsidize their groceries.
We are, and realize, Andrew, 70% of adults and 33% of children are overweight or obese. We're talking about a major issue in the United States today. So the federal government is contributing to it. If you want to spend your other sources of revenue on fancy food, have at it. Our program, the nutrition assistance program, is dealing with meat.
You got some supporters with me and the missus, you know that.
Yeah, again,
why is this guy doing
this is subsidizing these
fucking Canadians, man?
habits is not good for anyone. And again, when you have to bear the cost of things, that's also something the pricing system does. It makes you decide what is worth it and what is not worth it.
You just described free market. We have 335 million people making hundreds of thousands of decisions every day. That is a free market. You want to be that, get your own money on it, that's fine. But just don't require the American taxpayer to subsidize that.
So, all right, are the Democrats on board? It seems like what's funny about Trump, and really, I've said over the years, Trump derangement syndrome made Bush derangement syndrome look at the sniffles. That reflexively, even if Trump, and if I could reason with a Democrat strategist, not that I really care to, they've boiled themselves down. They've distilled themselves down.
Keep crossing the yellow line so my car's thinking I'm falling asleep. Hey, Gregory. I'm trying to peek around the stupid fucking semi.
Republicans likely would occupy for Trump and Republicans to occupy, like on trade. You would think that Democrats, if they really cared about the prospects of people who might seek manufacturing jobs, that his brass knuckles approach to foreign investment and American manufacturing,
guy's a fucking idiot, dude.
would mean more jobs and more people in unions. You'd think they'd support it, but absolutely, positively, reflexively. I mean, after the food police with Barack Obama, they're mad at RFK for going after.
Because they don't do good forestry management.
Well, they want to keep
fucking woke bullshit.
That's plain and simple. It's a matter of power. It's a matter of making the government sovereign over our lives. And so you have boiled it down to why they do not support anything that will add to individual freedom.
Let this guy over.
Reagan said we are after maximum individual freedom consistent with the civil society. Everything else is down to the ashes of history. That has been a true statement that's been made. And that's why they want to keep people on the dole, on the government reservation, it helps them to keep them in power.
Yeah, but again, if you've seen, I can only speak for New York City. The former mayor de Blasio started writing all these rules and regulations about juice boxes in daycare centers, and they're getting rid of salt shakers. And Bloomberg had his trans fat thing. This has been happening across the country, where you've had government telling people what they should and should not eat. Along comes Trump and RFK Jr. They're like, well, we'll study if this causes cancer. You with the FISNO Act, you're doing something that is not Republican versus Democrat.
It's not a fuel tanker. I think it's usually that's grain or flour or something like that.
That's foreign. But what you're saying is these programs should actually live up to their intentions. That you're talking about, like
usually those thin ones are some type of grain or, like you said, sugar, water, or sugar, flour, something like that.
Drink. This is a nutrition program. These things have no nutritional value.
That's absolutely right. The taxpayers want.
I'll pull up next to him once we turns into 2 lanes again. Figure it out.
For our poor families, we want to provide supplemental nutrition. That's what the program is. That's what it ought to be.
You can tell by the hopper on top there too.
Yeah.
Oh, then the other truck finally got over too. It doesn't say actually, but yeah, that's what it is.
Going forward with this temporary, I guess, takeover, imposition, if you will, into policing in the District of Columbia. The Democrats are saying this is unnecessary. Crime is down. The FBI statistics will say otherwise. They had to revise them for the last year available. All Donald Trump is saying is let's make the streets safer, and Democrats
Hey, Simply Rose.
No.
Well,
we're heading to a job site in northwest Ohio, and we're listening to Andrew Wilkow. We're about 10 minutes out. It's going to be a short stream. We'll have a longer one later. We do some dashing.
So this is more of time to do the left and just not willing to admit what's happening. And frankly, everybody.
Welcome, Simply. It's later in the week. We might be able to get some cop watching in tonight.
I just don't understand how Democrats. I'm old enough to remember Joe Biden's fiery speech. I have some clips I'm going to play. Probably after we're done here, Bill Clinton talking about the cops program of the 90s. Remember the 94 crime bill? Then there was the community policing program. We got the cops program. And Democrats then understood that being soft on crime or always sympathizing with the criminal was not popular. And now you have Democrats doing that reflexive thing again, defending.
Paradise, California. Well, welcome into the stream. We appreciate you.
And defending crime.
We dual stream on Rumble as well. That's where we're monetized. But you can watch us from wherever you like.
Think about that. The citizens of America want stability. They want safety. They want to be able to go to their soccer games or their grocery stores and to work. The Democrats want chaos. They want chaos on the street. Remember the summer of love several summers ago. They cheered it on.
I'm looking here at a Politico piece. Headline: Democrats tumble a new poll. Only 33% approval rating. They keep biting down on the 10 or 20 side of an 80 or 90-10 issue. I don't understand it. I don't know who's running this party. Is it Zoran Mamdani? Is it AOC? Is it Jasmine Crockett? They keep tripping over themselves.
Well, when you think about those three names you just mentioned, two of them, the two ladies, have been mentioned as presidential candidates in some odd form. There is no one running this party, and that's the problem. They have of this. The American people are just discovering that. When you stand for what they stand for today, the American people are saying that's not what we stand for. It's real simple, and you're seeing it in the polls. It's going to be tough road to hoe ahead for the Democrats, I do believe.
All right, I'm going to take a break. Thank you so much for joining us. Look, I don't think
it's
an intrusive thing that you're doing.
nice weather too.
The taxpayer dollar, not free market.
Just dealing with the heat, but definitely not bad today.
You can argue whether or not it's
We're at 84 today.
The federal government.
Not better than the last few days.
It is doing the program, and if they are going to do the program, it should be tailored.
Actually, what's the forecast looking like? I think it's supposed to get warm again.
If people want free food, it should at least be nutritious. So we, the taxpayer, are not also subsidizing their health care. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, Simply Rose, thanks for hopping over and Rumble. I appreciate it.
Their congressional district, they're right, they're wrong. That's the end of the story. The arguments on this radio
It's going to
program
heat up again this weekend.
Serious, except Patriot.
It's Elvis Week
I got to get my grass cut.
and Elvis Radio is taking you to Memphis.
We're celebrating his life, his legacy, his music, everything that he gave us.
Remembering the king of rock and roll. With specials, countdowns, and live updates all week. On now to August 16th on Elvis Radio, Channel 76, and at home with the Sirius XM app on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Comfort that shows up day in, day out. Cozy Earth nailed comfort with their bamboo sheets. These sheets are a game changer. They're incredibly soft, breathable, and temperature regulated. Cozy Earth's bamboo sheets wick away heat and moisture, helping you stay cool and cozy all night long. And they're everywhere, Pitt, next level. It'll be your go-to for everything. Travel, work, chasing the kids, or doing nothing at all. They're clean cut, super stretchy, and unbelievably comfortable. Redefined comfort meets real-world performance. Everyone I know who's tried Cozy Earth is hooked. Seriously, you'll wish you switched sooner. And there's no risk. 100-night sleep trial, 10-year warranty. Try them, wear them, love them, or send them back. But trust me, you will want to. Go to CozyEarth.com and use my code WILLCOUNT for up to 40% off the softest bedding, bath, and apparel. And if you get a post-purchase survey, tell them that you heard about Cozy Earth right here, built for real life.
Well, simply you get to join us on premium streams now as well.
File taxes or are in debt to the IRS. This is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau.
That's one. There's another one at the exit.
Licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call can start the process. Hoping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation. Call 800-611-8892. 800-611-8892.
You're welcome.
800-611-8892. Optima Tax Relief. Details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago Senator Dick Durbin. And now Dick Durbin has a new scheme, a government takeover of your credit card. Today, consumers have thousands of choices of credit cards, all with equal strong security. But Durbin's flag is less.
This one's got multiple large flags. You got that one there, and you got one on the other side.
For your credit and your identity. Tell Republicans in Congress, stop Dick Durbin's takeover of your credit card before it's too late.
Your right to your American dream is only possible if you can, and that requires economic opportunity. Our economic foundation is how we stand strong as a country. America
You're welcome, Simply.
needs a strong economic foundation so that you, the Americans,
We do cop watching sometimes.
your economic opportunity.
We do
The David Webb Show, weekdays from
dash and scan.
Sirius XM Patriot Channel 125.
Just traveling. I travel all over right now, doing IT work during the day. Night.
Living in it.
You can tell Carrie
Depends.
these are her people, this is what she loves to do.
Carrie Underwood's own channel, featuring live performances.
Oh yeah, some special Aldi's. Oh yeah.
Stories from the
idol turned country icon. You want to hear a variety. You don't want to hear the same songs. You want new things for your ear.
Aldi just started accepting DoorDash orders as well. So that's kind of cool.
Football is finally back, and so is the hard-hitting gridiron action on Prize Right and get $50 instantly in lineup.
Starting to, who's shutting down your channel?
Millions of dollars awarded to winning Prize Picks is the best place.
What are you talking about, Greg?
Yeah, really simple.
Well, I don't have time to get into it with you. Join us tonight in our stream and we'll discuss it.
States including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. The simple stats. Prize Picks is the most.
Yeah, we just started DoorDash just started doing shopping as well. It actually pays pretty well, so I don't mind getting. I've already gotten a couple of those orders. So.
Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code.
All right, this guy thinks I'm his ride, so I'm gonna have to go talk to him. All right, peeps, I love you. Talk to you later.